Hi YouTube, it's Catherine Michelle. This video is going to be hopefully short and sweet and to the point, and this will be the only time I'll talk about this. It just seems like people who attack, they just have nothing better to do. And anyone who's paid any attention at all, which is most of you guys, and I'm so grateful most of you have the capacity to follow along with what someone is saying and reading. But for the few of you who absolutely refuse to listen and think you have such real... Okay, that's bad grammar. Let me go back. For those of you who think you are trying to put me in my place, just stop. Your comments are ridiculous. I always would tell my children that there's no such thing as a stupid question. However, I have to go back on that. There have been plenty of really stupid questions that you people keep putting out there. Like, for instance, have you seen the redacted photos? Trying to tell me, in other words, I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you understand what redacted means? Let me explain it to you. Redacted means photos that are either taken out or they're edited, and it means that they're not going to be shown to anybody. So even you, in all your wisdom, have not seen the quote-unquote redacted photos. And if you don't like what Dr. Kelly has to say, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But stop confusing the fact that those were Dr. Kelly's words. It was the interview I did with him. And just because it doesn't go along with what the narrative you want everybody to think, doesn't mean that I am lying. They're not even my words. And when I read from these reports, I read them verbatim and I show people. Again, not my words, but coming from the police and the lab techs who are writing these. Are you following? You getting the gist of this now? And because you may not be able to read a report and deduce what is actually going on in that report does not mean that the rest of us who are looking into this case lack that ability as well. Most of this is common sense. When you read something in these reports and it states, for example, that the bullet that supposedly killed David was found in an attic that somehow did a miraculous 180-degree turn from a downward trajectory and up into a ceiling, yet has no blood DNA, and you can't seem to figure out that that's not the bullet that killed him, not my problem. Not anybody else's problem. So if I've been dealing with you people for so long and I'm done. So from this point forward, to keep everybody else from having to deal with the drama and the chaos that you are bringing, and the fact that you are on purpose trying to direct this investigation, this research, or whatever the terminology that will make you happy so you don't spew out more garbage. But you are taking the focus off of this family. You are trying to distract other people from coming up with questions or finding things out. And when I say that I know something and I put it as I know it for a fact. I don't care if you like it or not. Don't care. But if I don't know, I will say I suspect or this is what I think. You don't like that? I don't care. It doesn't matter. You have the full freedom to do your own channel. You have your own freedom to do your own investigation. But stop trying to hinder what we are doing. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm not asking you to do anything except for to stop with the attacks. They're not needed, they're not necessary, and they're not welcome. And they will not be tolerated anymore. The next time I see comments like that, I'm going to start removing them. Now, if you want to write a regular question like everybody else, or a comment that is not derogatory or taking it away from the focus of the case, that's fine. You're welcome to do that. But no more distractions. Okay? You get that? No more. It's sad I have to talk to you like a 2-year-old, but unfortunately, with behavior like this and what you are portraying, that is what I have to do. So enough. And again, honest, good, thought-provoking questions are welcomed. Attacks are no longer going to be tolerated. If you don't like what a professional has to say, then keep it to yourself or go out and interview your own professionals. Those of you who are continuing with this, you know that how many times have you said you've tried to get people and you've tried to interview either medical examiners or whoever, and nobody will talk to you. And because when I was giving my experience and what I had seen, that wasn't good enough for you. So you're like, well, where's the professional? Okay, I was a professional. It's what I did for 10 years. I was not an ME, but my job was still professional. So I went out and I finally found a professional. And even then, you weren't happy with that. So your attacks aren't about the facts that we're finding in this case. Your attacks are about me personally. Now, I don't care if you like me or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my life. But you need to focus your attention on something different. If you truly care about this case, and if you are trying to find justice like your names are always constantly trying to insinuate, then look for justice and stop the attacks. Last time I'm saying it, I'm removing all comments from now on. For the rest of you, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you for, putting everything back on track. And, I don't know, a lot of you can continue with this banter back and forth, and I applaud you for that. And I thank you for standing up for me. And I thank you for understanding that I never said I had all the answers. However, I do, when I see something that is questionable, I'm not afraid to put it out there. And if those who are attacking, if that's what you're afraid of, because you're afraid to be wrong, then again, that's a personal problem. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm not afraid to be right, and I'm not afraid to ask questions. You don't know and won't know until you get out there. And so don't be afraid. Put your fear aside. Fear has no place in anybody's life. Get out there, start focusing on what it is that you want to find out. And if it differs from what I have found out, then by all means post that so everybody else can see every possible angle. That is what we should be doing. That is what I am doing. It may not agree with everything everybody else says, but that's okay. We can all come up, because eventually, as we all start getting our pieces and we start putting them together and we can start deciphering, we can keep what fits and toss what doesn't. But if you constantly have to say that everybody, unless you absolutely agree with the narrative that was given by the police and the MEs in this case, nothing will ever be solved. Because no, there are things wrong. And I don't care if you like that. I don't care if you don't like that. That I don't care. Are you hearing me? It's wrong. There is a lot of evidence that is not covered. It was a rushed decision from the get-go, and nothing else was looked into. That is a fact. There are facts in this case that no matter how much it makes you angry, your anger isn't going to change what is. So again, to everybody else who has been supportive and you're asking great questions, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and keep it up, and may God bless you. Have a great day.